Hello, welcome, good afternoon. Good to spend a few more minutes with you. Thank you for tuning in. I want to talk today about a particular topic that just continues to come up in our practice over and over and over again. You know, we have logged hundreds, thousands of hours with pre-retirees and planning sessions, helping them navigate the risks into pre-retirement. And the topic of long-term care just continues to come up. And I'm shocked about the lack of awareness, the lack of education on this particular topic. In these planning sessions, we're focused as a framework on our three-step planning process. Now, I've recorded a different video on that. You may want to look at that at another time, but I want to review it with you quickly here. Those three steps to the planning process are goals, risks, and strategies. What are the goals that you're facing? What's most important to you? What are you trying to accomplish? Number two, what are the risks that you face? What are the threats? What are the concerns? And number three, what are the strategies? What should we do? What course of action should we take to be able to move specifically forward? In this area of long-term care, we're seeing this lack of awareness. And I often get clients who say to me, well, how come our previous advisor didn't spend time with us talking about long-term care? How come we don't know about these various strategies? And come we don't know about the tax issues and the legislative issues associated with this? Well, the answers to those questions I'll reserve for another time. But we have made a commitment at McKell Partners to spend more time educating the public about long-term care, its risks, and the various strategies that are associated to mitigate those risks. Let me show you quickly a couple slides here that I think will really be helpful as you think a little bit more about this lack of awareness that's going on out there in the public. What is your greatest fear about managing your finances in retirement? Look at those top two categories. This is a Texas Tech University study, 2015. What is my biggest fear? Look at the top two categories. Not knowing how much I can spend safely, not being able to live my desired lifestyle, 83%. Why is that? Well, we have found in all of our conversations and working with clients, yeah, there's a variety of concerns, but the area of care, if I don't have a care strategy, I get concerned about spending my resources and I hold back. And I don't go have the experiences I really want to have in retirement. I don't travel and do the kinds of things or engage in the kinds of activities because I'm worried I'm going to have a care event. And therefore, I don't really know how much I can spend safely. And I'm not sure I can really live my desired lifestyle. Interesting. Hi, my name is Mark McKell. I'm the managing partner of McKell Partners. We're a comprehensive wealth management firm on the West Coast. It's good to be with you today. You know, we've got a growing group of people that are focused on helping others experience financial peace. I want to talk today about this area of long-term care and the lack of awareness and the lack of education on this particular topic. And if you're still wondering, like, is this really going to affect me? You know, I don't think this is really going to happen to me. If you're in denial, let me just share with you, if I could, a couple other quick slides that might give you a little bit better perspective about maybe the causation or maybe the likelihood that you might need or have a care event. Look at this here. 1 in 335 homes catches fire every year, according to the National Fire Protection Association. 1 in 52 cars are in an accident. But look at this third bullet down here. 1 in 1.4 people older than 65 will need long-term care, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. 71%. Now, if you're between 50 and 70, or 55 and 70, you know this is true because you're watching your folks. You're watching your aunts and uncles. You're watching people that you know in your faith community. You're watching people that you worked with in your life that are now older ahead of you. And people are having cognitive decline, they're having challenges, and they're experiencing this long-term care issue. Look at this in terms of Alzheimer's. 1 in 10 people age 65 and older has Alzheimer's, 33% over age 85. Look at this spike in numbers as we get older. Look at this in terms of dementia. North America, look at the ages here. And look at the incident rate here in terms of percentages. I experienced this with my own father. He passed away a couple of years ago. And the 2 or 3 years before his passing, cognitive decline and challenges in that area. Here's another slide to be able to help you with that as well. Rates of cognitive impairment by age. See, we have the ages down here in the bottom, and look at the percentages on top here as we look at cognitive decline and dementia. And then this final question here. Look at this again from Texas Tech University. If I had resources set aside at the beginning of retirement to cover planned bequests and uncertain medical costs, I would feel more comfortable spending money on things I enjoy in retirement. Think about that. Look at this. 78% of the people felt that if they had a strategy to pay for medical costs, and they specifically knew what they were going to do to be able to handle that specific threat, they would feel more comfortable and they would enjoy retirement. So let's just talk quickly about this area that you need to be concerned about and that you need to get more educated about in terms of long-term care. Let me just ask you a series of questions to encourage you to increase your level of awareness. Who is the primary payor for long-term care? Who across the country is paying all long-term care claims? What recently happened in Washington State in 2019? Legislation that they put into effect whereby 480,000 people opted out in an effort to avoid a payroll tax. Do you know about that? Do you know about California AB567? That's a particular law, a task force that they're working on right now, ready to sign in California to institute a payroll tax, to usher in coverage regarding long-term care. What does long-term care cost? Do you know what it is today? If you were to spend time at home in care, in a nursing facility, what does it actually cost? But if you're in your 50s or 60s, what is the average age for the claims to be processed for a long-term care event with all insurance companies today? Well, it's age 81. So if you're in your 50s and 60s, you're likely not going to have a long-term care event now, but this is something that may happen 20 years down the road. What is the legislation surrounding long-term care? Are you aware of something called the HIPAA law that passed back in the 90s? What impact did the HIPAA law have on long-term care? What about the Pension Protection Act that speaks to the taxation of certain long-term care strategies? You know, being CPAs at McKell Partners, we have a big insight into the tax ramifications of these different kinds of strategies. Are you aware of the Pension Protection Act? And therefore, what are the different instruments that are available that I can utilize? Do I want to be self-insured? Which if you don't have a shared risk strategy right now with an insurance company, you are self-insured. And maybe being self-insured is the right thing to do, but are you aware of the other instruments that are available where you might enter into some sort of a shared risk experience? And which one is best? Listen, my focus today was to try to encourage you to get more educated, to learn about the available resources that are available to you, to engage with others in a planning and an educational experience, to watch the webinars, research online, engage with a professional, find an advisor who has the heart of a teacher, find someone who's focused as a fiduciary, someone who acts in the best interest of another when you work on this long-term care area. Well, that's it. I hope this was helpful. I hope it stimulated some interest on your part to kind of take the next step and to engage a little bit deeper. Our focus at McKell Partners is to help others experience financial peace. It's very difficult to experience financial peace in your own mind and heart as you move into retirement if you've not addressed this area of long-term care. I hope you'll take the next step. I hope you'll move forward and make a commitment to learning. And I hope you've enjoyed and learned a little bit more today on this topic of long-term care. All right, take care. And I hope to see you and meet you down the road. Bye-bye.